Hasbunallah. We are asking permission from our Shaykh, inshallah, to speak, to send something that is going to benefit us. As we said earlier, sit down somewhere. Sohbet is just starting. Sit down. This, our aim is to stay in the Sirat-al Mustaqim. This is a very big thing. That majority, they're not looking for this. They say, well, you're already Muslim, you are in Sirat-al Mustaqim. You're a Muslim, you're going to go to paradise. You're already Muslim. Who is saying this is guaranteed to us? Is it a guarantee? Who is saying it's a guarantee? If you're giving yourself a guarantee, that time you're putting yourself, your words, your idea above what Allah has put. What is guaranteeing you that you're not going to come out from that faith? If you had that real faith to begin with. You may think that you have Islam. Islam is just what? Saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasul. That is it. Well, if it's just saying that without putting it in your heart, then we can train a bird to say that too. The bird is going to be a better Muslim. If it is just going up and down to pray, we can make a robot to go up and down also. So, to become a believer now, it is something that is much deeper than that. The believer, in reality, he's not going to look at how much he believes. He's going to look at what are the things that's going to make him to disbelieve. What are the problems? He's going to remove that. Which is why, in the spiritual way, in the way of tasawwuf, you are going through the periods of what? Unveiling, opening. It is opening. Meaning that you are closed. The veils, they are there. What do you have to do? You have to unveil. You have to open. So how are we going to open if we don't know what is in front of us to remove? You never open. Then you're going to think that this much, this is it. And that time you're not going to believe anyone saying no. Beyond that veil is another understanding, another horizon, another blessing that you can never imagine. No, it is not. That time you become like Wahhabi. You can only remove something that you understand what it is. If you don't understand what it is, you cannot remove it. So now we're a believer. We're trying to be a believer. We're taking things away from what? From the road that is going to what? Harm you. That is going to harm your faith. Understand that there are 73 branches of faith. The first one is to say what? La ilaha illallah. And the smallest branch, the 73rd branch is what? To remove something harmful on the way. This is part of our faith. Now, the physical understanding is you're walking on the road, you see one rock, you see one tree, you see something, and you remove it. No, there is a deeper understanding than that. It is to remove something harmful on your way, your journey. Now, remove it. Once you start removing it, then you'll be staying on the way without any trouble. This is a very big thing because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself is saying, say this 40 times a day. Say this. Ihdina Sirat-al Mustaqim, Sirat-al lazina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Sadaqallahu al-azim. There is that part of the Fatiha from praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, making the promise, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. How are you going to? To you we worship, to you we ask from help. How are we going to keep that promise of worshipping Allah and asking help only from Allah? Allah is showing the way. This is what you do. You have to be in the Sirat-al Mustaqim in order. You have to be in the straight way, not deviant way. Straight way in order to worship me properly and to ask help from me properly. Don't think that because you're in the straight way, it is accepted. It has to be in the way of those whom I have favored. And I don't favor it to just anyone or everyone. Follow their way, meaning follow their way. Follow. Once we are following, then that time we're going to start our journey. This tasawwuf is going to teach you how to unveil, how to remove the harmful things that is standing in your way in that journey. Your ego is the most harmful. It is more harmful than shaitan. And it comes in hundreds and thousands of tricks and the traps of the ego. The shaitan is there. Remove that. Your desires are there. First, understand what they are. Remove it. This dunya, which majority don't believe this dunya, it is an enemy to man. Muslims or non-Muslims say dunya is great. Get more from the dunya. It's your friend, it's your buddy. Who is there, especially in Muslim countries, to stand up and to say, don't forget, Allah is saying this dunya, it is your enemy, it is amusement, it is trickery. Who is saying that? Hiding the ayat from the Quran. Where are they doing that? In Arab countries? Where the toilets they're making from gold? They're going to say that? Where? In other Muslim countries, they are running just to please their bosses. That they are telling their people, don't look to your religion, look to the dunya, because we have to compete with those ones, with the ahli dunya. There is no balance anymore. So if you don't look to see what is harmful in your way, you think you're in Sirat-al Mustaqim, but you've already made a detour, you're lost. Or you are on the way, but it's already harmed you. It has harmed you. That time you think you'll be able to worship Allah? No. Are you asking Him for help? No. Maybe you ask for help from shaitan, or your ego, or the dunya, or your desires, but not from Allah and not from those whom He has favored. These are the days when there's a lot of confusion that is happening everywhere. Keep your faith very simple. We want to be simple believers. We want to be simple believers. We want to be servants to Allah. Don't come thinking, I want to be served. No. We want to serve, because that is the function and that is the role of a servant. Until we understand what it is, they're not going to entrust us with anything. Yeah. This much is enough. May Allah forgive me. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum.